So there's a big fight going on right now in the AI space, and I want to show you guys the details. This is from the Financial Times. It's on Hegseth and Anthropic. There's Hegseth. It says, Hegseth threatens to cut Anthropic from Pentagon supply chain in showdown with CEO, and the CEO being Dario Amodei. Basically, they described the meeting as tense, and Hegseth and his people are putting out a lot of threats right now. Defense Secretary Hegseth has threatened to cut Anthropic from his department's supply chain unless it agrees to sign off on its technology being used in all lawful military applications by Friday. Now, the lawful thing, you could certainly take argument with what is lawful. It's not lawful because Anthropic then doesn't want their tech using for everything necessarily. So this is some of the details. It says the threat is the latest escalation in a feud between Anthropic and the department, triggered by the AI's group refusal to give unfettered access to its models for classified military use, including domestic surveillance and deadly missions with no direct human control. So we don't want you to use our tech to surveil people. We don't necessarily want you to use our tech to, build basically Terminator robots, autonomous things. Hegseth then is now threatening to invoke the Defense Production Act. And it sounds like they just kind of want to force them to do this stuff. I'll read it. It says, during tense talks, the defense secretary threatened to cut the company out of the department's supply chain or to invoke the Defense Production Act. And I had to look that one up. We don't talk about this that often. And this is the definition of it. You can just Google this. It says the Defense Production Act, DPA, of 1950 is a foundational U.S. law granting the president authority to direct private industry to prioritize and produce materials for national defense and emergencies. It empowers the government to expedite industrial resources, ensure supply chains, and bolster critical infrastructure, often used for defense, disaster response, and health crisis. So essentially, everything's an emergency, and therefore we have to order you and you have to follow us, I guess, is the idea. Anthropic had until 5:01 p.m. on Friday, so you have a deadline here, quote, to get on board or not. Here's the other quote. If they don't get on board, Hegseth will ensure the Defense Production Act is invoked on Anthropic, compelling them to be used by the Pentagon regardless of if they want to or not. This is the language coming from the Pentagon. You better get on board if you want to or not. The Defense Department would also label Anthropic, quote, a supply chain risk, and then that would make it so that if you're a partner of Anthropic, you could lose contracts and such as well. So basically, I'm just reading what it says. It's like they want to force Anthropic to do whatever they wanted to do, etc., and then threaten all Anthropic's business partners and such. Quote, you can't lead tactical ops by exception, the official added, claiming, quote, this has nothing to do with mass surveillance and autonomous weapons being used. And I'm thinking, no, I think it does have to do with mass surveillance and autonomous weapons. It's just, Here's what Anthropic then said. Anthropic said it had continued, quote, with good faith conversations about our usage policy to ensure Anthropic can continue to support the government's national security mission in line with our models can reliably and responsibly do. So this is actually pretty alarming if you've been following this story. And obviously then this involves Elon Musk. He is spending all of his time attacking Anthropic. This is from Musk Today. Good one, laughy face. And then he's got all these, bot fluffer accounts. Copyright, but only for models. Copyright, but only for LLMs. Basically, the accusations here, which I understand, is Anthropic was saying that China's attacking them, doing, using a bunch of I think they want to use fraudulent agent type accounts to sort of reverse engineer what their model's doing, copying what they're doing, etc. But then people are saying, well, but your whole business model is scraping the internet and copying what others are doing, so it's kind of ridiculous to make those claims. But then it's also ridiculous for Elon Musk to make said claims because he does the same things as well. And one person in comment wrote today, it's like bad people calling bad people for doing bad things. Musk is then trying to position himself as being hey, use my chat bot. You can make AI girlfriends and stuff. It's one of Musk, bot type accounts. He has this stuff nonstop. So if you want to look at every single image of that Musk puts out, you can look at it, but it's this kind of stuff. He wants you all to have your AI girlfriends, etc. Musk, though, is just jealous, to be frank. Anthropic keeps making deals, right? And so I wonder too, like, for example, if one of the deals would be, from Musk's point of view, would be like, okay, hey, Seth, go in there, force Anthropic to do whatever, and then give me all their code, give me all their secrets. I wouldn't be shocked at this point, right? I mean, you never know what this sort of shady stuff that Musk and Hegseth are up to. Because I showed you guys before, you can look at my prior videos on this subject, but I'll just tell you, like, Hegseth and the Pentagon made up basically a promo commercial promoting Elon Musk, which is a bit weird. Musk is so far behind here, because look at this with Anthropic. It says, software stocks rebound as Anthropic announces new partnerships. So it says, Anthropic announced new AI tools that connect with Salesforce, owns Slack, Intuit, DocuSign, LegalZoom, FactSet, and Google's Gmail. So basically making it easier to use Anthropic stuff with, said companies, and these are all major, companies here. Gmail's a big one. I mean, it's all big. Slack's a big one, huge, actually. And so if you get that integration, you're going to be so far ahead of the game. And Musk is, then resorting to partnering up with Hegseth and such. Also going on in the AI space, because I want to show you guys everything, Jamie Dimon gave an interview, and I guess they're looking to, they call it huge redeployment. So I'll let you guys be the judge of what he means by that. But a lot of the scare in the market was that report we went over yesterday. Please watch the video if you haven't already. It's about Centrini and this whole scenario of if the AI thing plays out, what happens to the economy and jobs. But coming from Jamie Dimon, he says, AI is already reshaping JP Morgan Chase workforce as bank plans, quote, huge redeployment. Okay, here's the quote then. We already have huge redeployment plans for our own people. In fact, we spoke about it today, and we have to up that a little bit so we can take people who are displaced, and we have displaced people from AI, and we have offer them other jobs. So I guess they're kind of moving stuff around according to AI and such. Then he was asked about it. It says, when an analyst on Monday asked if Dimon was concerned about the risk of widespread unemployment because of AI, one of several fears circulating as every AI model update seemed to wallop the shares of public companies in recent weeks, right? So basically, every time you hear about AI update from Anthropic, it's like, oh, they can do, replace COBOL now. Oh, they can replace sales, or oh, they're gonna, hit real estate, whatever. And then stocks start selling off because you start thinking that's affecting the core business of various companies. Then Dimon's like, we are going to deploy AI as best we can to do a better job for our customers. The CEO has likened the potential impact of AI to that of electricity or the printing press. This is like a rhetorical question here. Would you do it if you put 2 million people on the street? The next job is 25,000 a year stocking shelves. That's would you put autonomous trucks on the road, like basically driving jobs? I mean, this is all over the news right now. This AI stuff. AI upheaval forced the software industry to ask if this is an adapt or die moment. Then you have other companies making deals. Meta made a deal with AMD. I think they might be getting some ownership of AMD perhaps, and then they're going to want to build out their data centers and such, right? So that's going on there. And then you have these interesting uses for some of the AI. Now, this is not Anthropic, this is OpenCloud, but this is kind of all the rage these days. And basically, this person's saying that he'll have his agents contact local businesses. So read just one use of AI of how it could be used. My OpenCloud bot runs 6 AI agents 24/7. Okay. Finds local businesses without a website, builds a custom demo site for them automatically, sends outreach with a preview and payment link, handles objections, and closes the sale. So this is all automated. Most local businesses don't have a website. This system finds them, pitches them, and collects payments automatically. Oh, God. I'll just say this, guys. So I do YouTube all the time. And if you do YouTube, you'll get a ton of spammy type mails from people like this. And they'll offer you all kinds of services regarding your YouTube channel, etc. So, whether or not these are fully automated or actual people writing said emails. I get all kinds of stuff. A lot of it is spammy based, to be frank. And you don't know it's spammy based, and because sometimes the bottom of the email will be like, this is sent from whatever mailing service that they're using. If you guys ever seen this stuff, you'll know there's a bunch of different types of that stuff out there. But certainly there's going to be uses for AI, not necessarily all spammy OpenClaw type stuff, but a lot of different automation. And then clearly there's money involved with it because Musk is, trying to get involved with this stuff and get contracts, etc. This is an interesting one also regarding Elon Musk. He usually doesn't retweet Tim Cook of all people, right? Musk is retweeting Tim Cook. This is just a few hours ago from Cook and Apple. As part of our $600 billion commitment, Mac Mini will be produced in the U.S. for the first time later this year. Really? Okay. We're accelerating our progress even further, producing more AI servers and opening an all-new Apple Advanced Manufacturing Center for hands-on training. So this is all the rage in the markets right now. Some people are getting out, though, because there's a lot of debt in this stuff. And I talked about this before yesterday. Traders rush to dump software loans that began year at 100 cents. So time to get out of the debt because there could be some collapses here and there. And then more of the interviews with Jamie Dimon, he said things basically are a little bit expensive right now, right? Jamie Dimon says, watch out as lofty asset prices add to economic risks. Quote, my anxiety is high. Here's more. My own view is people are getting a little comfortable that this is real, these high asset prices and high volumes that won't have any problems. Basically, we're in a bubble situation. Now, clearly, there's going to be some uses for this stuff. I always say the same thing. There certainly is. And certainly Anthropic's making, big moves or making partnerships, right? I think this news right here was pretty big. I mean, this is like what? Things with, says new AI tools with Salesforce, Slack, Intuit, DocuSign, LegalZoom, FactSet, Google's Gmail. Those are some big names there. And there's going to be, uses for this stuff, but do you necessarily want to hand over all of the keys to the car in vital aspects of your working life? Some people have been experimenting and, you get things deleted or purchase things for you that you don't necessarily want. There's a lot of things out there that are risky. And with this new technology, like, why are you in such a hurry to adapt said things, right? This is certainly in this situation, Hake said he's an idiot, just be frank. But when Musk is putting pressure, oh my God, and making me these big promises, and Hake's like, oh, money, what's going on here? You're going to promise me a job after I'm done with the Pentagon? It would be that kind of stuff. So that's sort of what's going on. I want to hear your thoughts, and I'll catch you on the next video.